Oliver, and Prince Ruberton was third, ridden by Stephen King. Brian Mayfield Smith looks set to have some fun with Rubertano during the good races of the spring, certainly on that performance today. Now here's Dan for the 6th.
Thank you, Matthew. Open race, 7 horses in single figures on Super Tab as they start to move in. Kashkai favourite. Not a lot between the top 7 in the market, just one of those sorts of races. Almost all of those horses at some point have got out of the market and then trimmed up a little bit, so they're all in with a chance. Spring Warrior, probably suited with the rain coming. He can race up on the speed, sort of race where the leader could get a good run. Now Currency Rep goes into the gates. Kashkai at $4.20 on track. It has drifted out. It's still the favourite. I'd say Mr. Gold Flyer would be the best back, number 2. It firms up again. So all up 1.5 points it comes in. So number 2, Mr. Gold Flyer, the best back runner, but Delirious got out, came back in again. And Spring Warrior likewise. Previous event won by Rubertano most impressively. First up from a break, he'll head on to the Bletchingley. And Brian Mayfield Smith is eventually going to try and step him up to 1,600. Races like the Liston and the Craigley. So a wait for age campaign for Rubertano ahead of him. Race 6 of the day is over the 1,400. They're set for a start and now they're racing. Mr. Gold Flyer was probably the last to leave the stalls. Filatimo jumped in front of Currency Rep. And up there in the early part also Spring Warrior, but deeper, but it is pressing forward. Then San Antone, Kashkai on the rails. Next is Eric and then Foreign Affair, Delirious. Last is Mr. Gold Flyer. Settling down 1,100 metres to travel. Filatimo leads by a length to Currency Rep and 2 lengths away Spring Warrior third. Kashkai on the inside of it, another 2 lengths to San Antone. Then Foreign Affair, Wonder Eric, 2 lengths to Mr. Gold Flyer. And Delirious is last on the inside. Turning down the side of the track, 800 left to go. And the leader Filatimo, a length in front of Currency Rep. 2 lengths away Kashkai. It's had a beautiful run on the rails. It's third. Spring Warrior around it. 1.5 to San Antone. Then Foreign Affair Eric. 2 lengths to Mr. Gold Flyer. It's about 6 lengths off the lead and last is Delirious. Rounding the bend, approaching the 400. Filatimo just in front of Currency Rep. Spring Warrior makes a line of 3. Kashkai now looking for a run. And then Eric ridden up but still making ground. Wider San Antone under the whip. Mr. Gold Flyer 6 off the lead. Spring Warrior went to the lead. 200 to go. Drew past Currency Rep. Kashkai getting into the clear now. Eric is battling on Mr. Gold Flyer. Too far back at Spring Warrior. Currency Rep kicking again on the inside. Currency Rep and Spring Warrior locked together. Currency Rep on the inside with its nose in front and got there. Currency Rep won it narrowly from Spring Warrior and third in Kashkai. Then came Foreign Affair. Eric battled on from Filatimo, San Antone, Mr. Gold Flyer and Delirious at the tail end. 1:24.23 is the time, and Currency Rep fought on doggedly. Spring Warrior certainly drew past it, and when you were looking for the challenges to come from behind him, Currency Rep with Bulldog-like qualities continued to fight back, and he's been able to beat Spring Warrior. Not a lot in it, and Kashkai, he was held up. When he got out, he might have looked a chance of running home, but he was actually held pretty easily. Number 11, Currency Rep, Reese Wheeler, fighting on strongly to score. 7 Spring Warrior, Stephen Baster, and 8 Kashkai, Kieran McAvoy. Those numbers are official now, 11, 7 and 8. And the winner at pretty good odds, $16.20 and $4. $2.60 Spring Warrior, $1.70 Kashkai. The approximate win and place dividends. Fourth is Eric, number 5. He battled on. And 6 Foreign Affair finished up 5th. Also was about midfield most of the race and didn't really improve. Filatimo weak, and Mr. Goldfly didn't give a yelp. It was too far back, even though only 6 lengths off the lead, but it failed to make up any ground at all. That's right
from the track.
Runners heading out for race 7 at Rose Hill. This is a
all set for the Magic Millions handicap, raced over the 1,500 metres. And the Hawk stable with a strong hand here, Thorns and Shamrocks, and there they go. And Chinoy on the inside jumped very quickly. Away well, Gamesman, and here's Diamond hunting up, looking for the lead. And as they settle down now, Diamond narrowly from Gamesman. Arabia third, then Royal Integrity, followed by Chinoy, Yorkshire Lass, Rare Eclipse, and then a break of about a half length to Shamrocks, 2 Thorns, and about a neck on the outside to Halls of Assembly. Racing down towards the first corner at the 1,000, and Diamond is the lead. leader. Yorkshire Lass hustles into second posse. Gamesman third, Royal Integrity fourth. Fifth the inside is Arabia. Rara Eclipse wide, followed closely by Shamrocks in the centre. Over on the fence is Chinoy, and the last pair, Thorns over on the inside of Halls of Assembly as they work their way down towards the 650. And Diamond, 3/4 of a length on Yorkshire Lass, 2.5 to Gamesman. A length to Arabia sneaking up on the inside of Royal Integrity. Shamrocks between horses. A length and a half to Rara Eclipse, Chinoy, 1 to Thorns and 2 lengths to Halls of Assembly. They're on the swing. Diamond leads. A half length on Yorkshire Lass. A length the Gamesman, who's about to tackle the 2 leaders. Arabia behind those. Shamrocks and Thorns still a fair way back from Chinoy. Rara Eclipse, Royal Integrity. Gamesman hits the front as they work to the 200. And Gamesman a length and a half clear. Thorns, Shamrocks followed on the inside. Arabia seeing daylight. Here comes Thorns after Gamesman and Halls of Assembly. Gamesman still in front. Gamesman gets the money from a tight finish. Arabia, Halls of Assembly, and Thorns tightened up over the line. Not far away was Shamrocks. About 3 then to Chinoy, followed by Diamond, and then Yorkshire Lass. Rara Eclipse and Royal Integrity was last to complete the course. He knuckled down to his work very, very well. He was taken on left, right and centre, Gamesman. But he didn't lie down when the acid test came, and the Harry Lawton syndicated Gamesman has been able to score. Lenny Beasley aboard and has paid $4.70 for the win and $1.90 for the place. And the judge has called on a photo finish to determine second and third. Halls of Assembly is one of those. And gee, I tell you what, Halls of Assembly's raced very well at his last 2 runs here, and he might have his foot on the till for a very, very near win. But it's a very close finish for milers. Hang on to your tickets between the horses we mentioned going across the line here. And we've got Halls of Assembly, Arabia and Thorns, who got tightened up just past the winning post. The winner is by Eagle Eyed, who now stands at stud in Turkey, out of the Kayaru Starmere No Finer, trained by Gay Waterhouse, and as I said, is a Harry Lawton syndicated horse, and has had 4 wins, 5 seconds and 4 thirds from 26 starts. So he's been a very, very good money spinner for his connections. So 4 and a photo finish, and the judges are poring over the finish links to ascertain what has run second, third and fourth. Thorns had his chance, I thought. Shamrocks had his chance, both very well tried, but I don't know what sort of depth there would be in the format of that. I don't think a great deal. All right, a break, and then we'll have, hopefully in just a moment, the full complement of placings and accordingly totes after race 7.
All right, thanks, Ian. And that's including 2 Quinellas, exactas, trifectas. Officially 4th in the race was number 2, and that was Thorns. The first 4 on 4, 9, 10, 2 paid 618, and the first 4 on 4, 10, 9, 2 was 542.60, and the daily double was 63.50 in New South Wales, combination of 11 and 4. Weights right.
Sandbelt and Power and Rhythm, the last 2 to go into the line. Rubitano, highly impressive, winning the feature event race 5 today. Currency Rep won the previous. They're set for race 7 at Caulfield. All locked away. Beau Real the favourite. 1,800 metres the distance. Racing. Classic Binbara, perhaps a little bit slow with Bush Padre. Spicep, the grey, one of the first out of the gates with the favourite Beau Real. And Biggs is up there in the early part from Chiming Door, then Bold Impulse. Next Red Rorke, and then Minster's Pride from Sandbelt. Bush Padre's about midfield now, then Power and Rhythm back to about 4th last from Jasper's Gold. Natch and 2 lengths away last is Classic Binbara. About 1,400 metres to travel, and Spicep is the leader. 2 lengths in front. The favourite Beau Real is now second. And Bold Impulse is third on the rails. 4th is Biggs. It's a little bit wide at the moment. It's 3 deep around Chiming Door. And on the inside, Red Rorke. Then Minster's Pride, who's about midfield around Bush Padre, Sandbelt the inside. A length away, Power and Rhythm. 2 lengths to Natch, Jasper's Gold second last. And Classic Binbara whips them in about 10 lengths off the leader, Spicep. Turning down the side, less than 1,000 metres to go. Spicep half a length on Beau Real, who's travelled well. Bold Impulse has had a nice run third the inside. Next is Biggs. And then Chiming Door from Minster's Pride, Red Rorke. Bush Padre about midfield, 5 lengths from the lead. Then Sandbelt, Power and Rhythm, 2 lengths away, Jasper's Gold from Natch and Classic Benbara. 600 metres to travel, and Spicept about 3/4 of a length in front of Boreal. Biggs is third. Fourth, the inside now Chiming Door. Bold Impulse is giving ground, and then Bush Padre up to fifth from Minster's Pride, Red Rorke. Sandbelt, Power and Rhythm wider out from Classic Benbara. Turning for home, Boreal getting level with Spicept. A length away, Biggs, and further out Bush Padre's working into it. Chiming Door getting to the clear. Spicept giving plenty. Boreal now gets to it, and Bush Padre has starting to move up on the outside of Boreal. It's Bush Padre hitting the lead with 100 to go. Boreal needs to fight back, but he can't, and Bush Padre back in the winners list today. Bush Padre drew away to win. Boreal second, Chiming Doors run third, and then Sandbelt, who made some ground. Spicept ran a cheeky race, and then Natch, Biggs, Classic Benbara, Minster's Pride, Bold Impulse, Red Rorke next. Power and Rhythm didn't finish it off, and Jasper's Gold towards the tail end of the field. Bush Padre, Reese Wheeler, strong over the last 100 metres to reel in Boreal, and Chiming Door will get third. Bush Padre, he was able to make a Caulfield Cup field last spring. His form really hadn't been that fantastic this preparation, but up to the 1800 today, and he was too good in the end. He got to the line very strongly to reel in Boreal. And third placing, close up, Chiming Door wasn't a bad effort. Its best work towards the latter end. Bush Padre, ridden by Reese Wheeler, trained by Lee Friedman, winner of 8 races now. Had the claim, it made a big difference, was in the winter championship final with 58, so to take the claim today in a race that wasn't as strong certainly helped him, and he'll do the confidence a lot of good as well. Numbers 1, 4 and 5. Boreal sat on the pace, looked to have his chance. Bush Padre pulling away over the last 50 metres, and Chiming Door doing its best work third. Fourth in was Sandbelt, and
The winners out here today have been Thorn Park, Caribou, Salem's Tip, No Limit, Mr. Platinum, Ear to Ear, and Gamesman. 1 to go, and Dan Zabeel. How good is this horse? We'll know after this one starts at Kembla on the 22nd of June for an all-the-way win. Dan Zabeel has drawn the inside. Jimmy Cassidy in the green and purple halves. Coming up is Razor King, and Goodrum will see the line set. And a pleasant day here in Sydney weather-wise. And they're all there now. Last of the afternoon. Stand by for a start. Racing, and they jumped very evenly too. Sizer up, the early leader, narrowly though from Enemy Fire. Catechism. Dan Zabeel is not far away, and Razor Jane and Jackman are slipping up into the leading quartet. Not far back is Azrak, and then Silver Duke, followed by Razor King. Over on the inside next is Coral Salute, followed by Night Raider, and 2 lengths to Goodrum as they work their way onto the first corner. And going past the 950, and a bustle for the lead here, with on the inside Catechism taking it from Sizer up. Razor Jane third, Enemy Fire fourth. A length further back is Jackman, caught out wide, followed by Azrak, and then Dan Zabeel. Further away is Silver Duke, and a couple of lengths to Night Raider, followed by on the inside Coral Salute, and then Razor King and Goodrum. They work their way to the corner at the 550, little between Catechism on the inside and Sizer up. 2 lengths Enemy Fire, a length the Razor Jane, 1.5 to Dan Zabeel, and Jackman's the deepest. Azrak just in front of Jackman as they straighten now, and quickly Sizer up, got the better of Catechism. Enemy Fire, Azrak being called upon, Goodrum getting a split, and then Silver Duke and Night Raiders down the outside. Any one of 3 or 4 can win. Silver Duke the grey comes after Sizer up. Enemy Fire, Azrak and Goodrum, they're right across the track. Enemy Fire put the nose in front, they're coming at him. Enemy Fire and Goodrum on the inside. By gee, this is close. Goodrum and Enemy Fire, the 2 in it from Azrak not far away. Sizer up ran a terrific race. Silver Duke just died on his run in the last 100 with Night Raider. Razor King, and then came Razor Jane, followed by Catechism, Coral Salute, Jackman, and near enough to last, the favourite Dan Zabeel. Photo in the last of the day. Goodrum getting right along the inside rail. Zach Purton riding for Gerald Ryan. Enemy Fire was clinging on for Grim Death, and then Goodrum started to charge through on the inside, and in a head-bobbing finish, it looks as though the inside horse will get there. Goodrum. Yes, he's won at number 11, his first Goodrum, ridden by Zach Purton. Number 9 is second. That is Enemy Fire, ridden by Nigel Seymour, and a further photo for third. And that winner is going to pay $26.10 on the win tote. And that's a bonanza for bookies. $5.10 for the place. 9 Enemy Fire has paid $7.80. And for third, well, there are a stack of them going over. Azrak was one of them, but we'll just wait till the judge puts that number up. 123.64, 35.64 the sectional. Gee, mixes his form a bit, this fella. Good rummies by Spectrum, and trained by Gerald Ryan, and he had run 7th at Randwick last start behind Market Unit, and prior to that was 4th at Randwick. Prior to that had won at Warwick Farm. All right, so we're standing by for all other information to come to hand on the last event. Might be a little time before we get same, a break, and then we'll return with all the necessary on the last at the Gardens.
Thanks, Ian. 963.40, and the superfecta on 11.94.716 was not won. So the jackpot is $45,920 carrying over. That's the final event at Rosehill. And after the last, here's how the Sydney Premierships look. Jockeys and trainers. Corey Brown, half a win in front, 103 of Darren Beedman, 102.5. And Chris Muntz, 88, and Len Beasley, 57 after a winner today. And Gay Waterhouse is up to 132 after Gamesman won for the stable. John Hawkes, 114. Graham Rogerson, 35. And Gary Portelli had a winner at Rosehill today with Salem's Tip. That takes him up to 22.5 wins for the season. But yes, Corey's a half in front after today's racing, and both jockeys will ride against one another again on Wednesday. Now, just before jockeys mounted up for the final race at Caulfield, Alf had a chat with Nash Rawiller, the rider of...
Out of Options is the favourite, and they're racing in the last of the day, and missing it about 5 lengths was Race's Success. One of the first out was Umdinger near the inside for Marina Valedora. Orthopedic is handy, and so too was Flying Chance, and also Trust Fund is out there 4 deep into the first turn. Just behind the Marina Valedora 5th, and then Derringer. Bust Up. Out of Options is about midfield on the outside of Guest Express, and then Smiling Eyes. A length and a half away then to Rocky Point, who gets up on the inside of Miss Diaz. 1.5 to run on. Born to Dream second last. And after that tardy getaway, Race's Success is now tacked on. It's last and about 12 lengths off the lead. 1,400 metres to travel. Umdinger in front, leads a length and a half. Up to second is Flying Chance, and third was Orthopedic, and Trust Fund is sitting fourth. A length and a half to Arena Valedora. It is on the inside of Derringer. 2 lengths to Bust Up. It's on the rails, covered up by the favourite Out of Options. 1.5 to Guest Express. Smiling Eyes is outside of it. Another 2 lengths to Rocky Point. 1.5 Miss Diaz, then Run On, Born to Dream, and last is Race's Success. So they're well strung out. Turning down the side with 1,000 metres to travel. Umdinger leads the way. A length and a half away second, Flying Chance, and Trust Fund wider out was third. Next is Orthopedic, and then Arena Valedora, who left the fence, and Bust Up drives through nearer the rails. Then came Derringer, 2 lengths to Out of Options, about 5 lengths off the lead from Guest Express, then Rocky Point, Smiling Eyes. Miss Diaz getting a little bit closer, about 8 off the lead. 2 lengths away, Run On, and then Born to Dream, and Race's Success is last. Inside the 600, Umdinger in front, leads by a length. Second, Flying Chance. Trust Fund is 3 out. Then came Derringer. Next, the inside was Bust Up. And then came Orthopedic. Out of Options running on from Rocky Point. Guest Express as they round the turn. But Umdinger going for home now. One of the outsiders is a length and a half in front of Flying Chance. Bust Up is into the clear and making good ground up on its stablemate. But the leader, Umdinger, a length and a half away. Flying Chance. Bust Up. Out of Options. Miss Diaz down the outside with Smiling Eyes. Umdinger's in front. Flying Chance trying to pick it back. Umdinger, Flying Chance laid Out of Options. Umdinger hanging on. Umdinger a half ahead to Flying Chance. Third photo, Smiling Eyes are Out of Options, and then Miss Diaz. Next time Guest Express, then Derringer, Arena Valedora. Further back to Run On, Rocky Point. Then Bust Up, who didn't see it out. Further back, Orthopedic. Dropping out of it was Trust Fund with Born to Dream, and Race's Success at the tail of the field. Photo call 4 in the last. Umdinger giving a bold sight in front with Wayne Davis, and then Flying Chance. Just the last little bit was getting closer to it. And the judge calls for the photo in the last event. No number yet. Winner's time 25.7. Umdinger gets it. Number 16, the winner. Just lasting from Flying Chance, which is number 9, Stephen King. Lifted late, and third was pretty close. There's a few of them there for that minor end. I know Smiling Eyes was most prominent. I thought it probably got third. Out of Options has just been bloused for that spot, I would think. It's 16.9 and awaiting on third placing. And the place getters all at pretty decent odds here in the last. 15 does get third. So the official numbers are 16, 9 and 15. Out of Options has just been pipped for the place. Number 1 finishing up in fourth position. Umdinger leading all the way. Number 16, trained by Ray Lawson. Its stablemate looked a chance, bust up, given a good ride by Danny Nikolic, but it just didn't appear to run out the trip. It hit a brick wall at the 200. Now, fifth in was number 10, and that was Miss Diaz. I think she'll be appreciating the longer trips, was still making steady ground at the finish, and sixth was Guest Express, but they were well bunched up in the end. 16, 9, 15. Should be some big results all round on the final event at Caulfield. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks very much, Dan, for being with us today on Sky Road. Lord Carrioy.
Drawn in close, the Roma Cup winner, the favourite. Racing, Cool Business began brilliantly wide out. Another Kite, Mystery Command and Cap Rats all left the gates flying from the inside, and going quickly is Island Light. Mystery Command about to be restrained. Island Light trying to get across, and they've left Cool Business stranded on a limb. She's out 3 deep. Brown's trying to snooker back in behind them. A length and a half. Landing Star on the fence to Cap Rats running fifth, and then came on the outside Dakota. 2 lengths another Kite, Super Covered and Mr. Callahan, followed by Metallurgy, and last is Miss Vandal. 400 metres to travel in the Bowfine. Mystery Command again kicked through on the inside, and he's gone to a clear-cut lead from Cool Business. The run coming for Cap Rats. Almost turned Cool Business sideways. Bumped with a heavily, but now is into the open. Coming out after Mystery Command. Further back is Metallurgy running on. Mystery Command headed by Cap Rats. Metallurgy runs to third, but Cap Rats kicks away. Look at Metallurgy. He's flying. King draws the whip on Cap Rats. Metallurgy won't pick him up. Cap Rats wins it. Cap Rat scored by a neck to Metallurgy. Mystery Command 2 lengths away third. Another Kite, Mr. Callahan just behind them, followed by Landing Star, Dakota, a Breaks and Super Covered, followed by Cool Business, who had the wind knocked out of her sails shortly after straightening, and then Miss Vandal, and Island Light buckled to the extreme pressure and has wilted to finish near the tail.
He's 16.